All right, it's good to be back. Sorry about my leave of absence with streaming. Uh, Sorry, but not sorry, I guess I could say. Obviously, there's been some family matters that I had to kind of tend to. Uh, as much as I'm willing to share, it's more of just some safety concerns that kind of came up with where my daughter's preschool was. So it just kind of made me uh, make the decision of watching her instead of her being there, since there were some safety concerns. I just felt it was better and safer to do that than leave her in that uh, unsafe situation that she was in. Like I said, I'm not going to give any specifics of it. But anyway, now that that's resolved, she's finally started kindergarten. She had her first day on Friday. She's super stoked for that. I'm happy as well too because she loves very social. So she loves being around kids her age and those kind of interactions and activities. So she'll love that. But yeah, so that's established now. So I have my evenings now open for streaming again. I do. I say really that I don't have set schedules, but I like to try and at least have my streams scheduled by weekly basis. Uh, I'd like to at least minimum do at least 2 times a week, anywhere from 30 minutes to up to about 3.5 hours I can do streaming wise. It really depends on my mood, what's going on, what projects I got to get done. I do have a family. I do have other projects that I'm working on with my paying job and just my company job kind of stuff with developments and just internal projects that I keep finding to do. One of them I know I could say offhand is uh, I have a PlayStation 2. I have several of them, and I want to use the PSBBN for the PS2. I want to install it on both of my consoles in the house to have a nice little kind of platform for, well, just a great media center. I'd like to actually turn some of my like shows, like maybe Friends and Clone Wars, some of that physical media stuff that I have to turn into uh, digital media that I can then go on that media center, the PS2 on PSBB, and watch it on there. It's not very convenient. I love physical media, but when it comes to shows, it's just so not convenient. Just having to look through the disc, look for each season, and then play it because sometimes you don't want to watch the whole series through back to back, and kind of progressively go through it. You want to watch certain episodes. Sometimes you find your favorites and you just want to go to those. Sure, you can find which one it is, but I'd have to make notes and just leave it inside the case or something. But having it digitally is actually easier to find and be able to navigate and just kind of, it's just a convenience factor. And that's only from the standing point that I'm trying to stay off of streaming platforms. Basically, it could create my own media center for that by being able to play PlayStation 2 games directly off the hard drive and be able to play media video formats too as well. But yeah, that's just something I'm thinking about doing. I'll have to go through the installation progress, kind of figuring that it's all new to me, but I'll figure it out. Uh, that might also be part of. I actually been renewing a couple PlayStation 2s and then trying to resale them. That might also be in addition to that. I could renew them, have them completely restored, and then also have PSBBN on it pre-installed as well, ready to go for users. I think that would be a incentive package for people to pick up. My kind of thought process on that is I love the PlayStation 2's the infrastructure and the games and just everything about it. I love from the console to everything else about the PlayStation 2. It's like one of the best away from PC platforms. That's like my all-time favorite. I do love Nintendo. I like it across the board, but I still see PlayStation 2 just being like one of my number one favorite consoles of all times. Not because of games and stuff, mainly just, I don't know, it's just, there's just something about it I love, just everything across the board. I do love that too, that they didn't ever push out the PlayStation Network broadcast network system in America. They only did it in Japan, but there is a translation version. Which is what I'm going to plan on using and doing some testing with. It was a very just non-connected type console, which, yeah, there's N64, Super Nintendo, Nintendo, all that kind of stuff, and even Atari stuff are all that way too as well. Uh, it's just nice being disconnected from that. Sure, Steam, you're connected, but it doesn't always feel like brute up in your face. I could customize some of this stuff on my dashboard, make some things differently. But anyway, I'm rambling here, which is what we're all here for anyway. I have recently picked up Forza Horizon 6, which I may do some streaming content for that as well. I don't usually, most the recent like new game that I bought was Avowed. I don't really have a habit of buying brand new games. But it's just, one thing I've noticed I've been depriving myself, and I haven't really talked much on this channel, is I'm also a car guy. I've been a car guy for a very long time, since I first started driving, basically, which has been since I was like 14. It's like 30 some years ago, or 30 plus years ago, actually. I give you a little bit of a hint on how old I am. Anyway, I've just always loved cars just in general. Originally, I actually went to college for automotive technologies as to be a repair tech. Never really kind of went that direction. It just didn't work out. I'll just sum it up in that. But anyway, I've always had a love and a passion for it, and it's kind of another hobby of mine. My two main hobbies are mainly just like video games, and then of course cars. I do have a collector car that I own myself, which is a 1986 Toyota Corolla. It's actually a SR5 hatch, but I've converted it to a GTS. If you're familiar with these cars, a lot of people refer to the chassis, which is AKA the AE86, if you're familiar with that. I've been a long-time fan of these cars, not just because of Initial D, if you're familiar with that series. I had a lot more experience with that before that, with just friends and car friends, and then even past video games like Need for Speed Underground 2, which is one of their entry-level cars. I've had a lot of just different things that kind of interest me toward that specific car. I still have a lot I need to do on it. It runs and drives well, but that's also for another my other channel as well. Just kind of showing a little bit of connection to that, and why I also kind of bringing back some racing games into my gaming as well, just because of that passion and that interest. But as far as it comes to racing games, the only stuff that I may actually play streaming would actually probably be either Forza Horizon 6, Need for Speed Underground 2, which is literally my favorite racing game of all time. I love it. I also picked up Midnight Club Los Angeles for the 360, which I may or may not play that. It really depends. Some of the stuff just might be casual play. But I know for sure, without a doubt, I'll definitely do some Forza Horizon 6 on some of my plays here on this channel. It's interesting because I have literally Horizon 6 is my first Horizon game I've played of the Forza series. I haven't played any of them. For some reason, they just never interested me. I played Test Drive Unlimited back in the early 2000s. They had so many different platform versions. I played the PC version. That was fun. It was a free open roam world based in Hawaii. You could do all sorts of just different races and stuff, acquire cars, properties. Same concepts of Horizon. But for some reason, I just never got interested back into those games until recently. Forza Horizon 6, they focused in Japan. I love Japan. There's a huge just car culture and just so many of my favorite makes that are actually out of Japan. So many just different aspects of that actually pulled me in to Forza Horizon 6, and where I was just like, you know what, I'm going to pull the trigger, I'm going to pick it up. So I don't buy especially brand new games because they're $70 price tag at the base usually now these days. But yeah, anyway, it's a great game. And if you want my opinion as far as the price, this is my personal opinion, is I don't believe it's worth 70. But I do believe that at least the base is definitely worth 50. It's a great game. I'm loving and enjoying it. There's a lot of content to it. So I'll more than likely get my $70 worth out of it, just play content, playing wise. I've already gotten about 10 and a half hours in on it. But it's a load of fun. It's pretty casual fun. That's kind of one of the other reasons why I liked jumping in it. And there's so many aspects of Horizon 6 that actually kind of I see that's similar to Underground 2, but at the same time not. It's a car collecting game. There's so many cars that you can collect and get. That's a very different vibe, kind of the early 2000s kind of car racing culture games like Underground 2, where you tend to focus on just one or two cars, usually only one, and just build and rinse and repeat. And also the fact that you can't win a race unless you do it first place on some of those older school games like Underground 2. You can't progress unless you get first on everything, which my opinion's it's kind of silly. It's just kind of like Talladega Nights, where it's like, if you're not first, you're last. Well, that's not correct, because you could be second, you could be third, you could be fourth, and you could still progress. You just may not be the first place winner and the final throughout the tournament system. Anyway, that's only my pet peeve of some of the older stuff. But anyway, it's fun. You can turn the difficulties up and down. I just drop it out to be pretty casual so that I can just play it as needed and just enjoy it as I go. I don't like making things too hard because, well, life's full of things. You're doing things, and a lot of that work life can be difficult, and even in the family life. So I just want to sit down, not have any frustrations, and just have some chill time without any of that frustration stuff. I generally stay away from those hardcore Souls-like games. Anyway, I'm rambling here. Let's go ahead. I don't know. Oh, my controller disconnected because I've been rambling so long. Let me get it back connected back. There we go. Let's see here. I also do have a Nintendo Switch 2 now. I picked it up about a month ago, I guess. I got it for my birthday. I think I might have already mentioned that. But August 11th, Oblivion Remaster came out for the Switch. I really want to pick it up because it's a physical deluxe edition, which is the only physical versions that they've released. I think they've released it on Xbox, PS5, and Switch 2. So I'm not out of those platforms. I like Nintendo. So going forward, with just some other things that everyone's been talking about, I'm not going to get into it because of PlayStation and yada yada yada. But I just love Nintendo. And if there's a platform that I'm going to be on besides PC, it's going to be Nintendo, hands down. Just my personal opinion. You're welcome to make your own and have your own judgments on that. But anyway, rambling on here for quite a while. Let's go ahead and just jump in here to some Ship of Harnikin, Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I'm going to start a new playthrough just because, well, this comes back to my Nintendo Switch 2 that I recently purchased, and I'm just so absolutely excited about the Ocarina of Time remake or reimagined. I'm curious where they're going to go with it, what kind of style. I don't think they're going to make a remaster like they've already done for the 3DS. I think they're going to make something not completely different to this. I think they're going to use this as a template of building on basis. I think there's going to be a lot of changes. I think, personally. That's just my opinion and my thoughts. And I kind of hope for it, too. I mean, I would like to see a reimagined version of Ocarina of Time that's polished out, that's not limited to their architecture that they had to do in the mid-90s. They'll have so much more potential of creating what they originally envisioned. There's probably so many just different things they'd love to do, but they were just limited by the scope and the technologies of that era. So, yeah, let's get in here. Go ahead and start me a new game. Could play some more on my other profile that I've already finished. But all I'd be doing really is just getting heart pieces and Skola. I'm not really interested in doing that. I kind of wouldn't mind just running through the dungeons again. I love them. These dungeons in this game are just so fun to me, even though I know them. I'm not really a speedrunner. I don't really care for that. I like playing games casually and just enjoying and playing. And Sure, there's all sorts of neat little quirks that you can do to make things faster and stuff like that. There are actually, I think, different versions I can play here because this is Ship of Harnikin. I can play it with a randomizer, which I'm not interested. There's a boss rush, which I think you can basically rush all the bosses, I guess. Somehow you fight them back to back, I guess. And that's all there is. I think, if I'm thinking correctly, I think because I know there is Master Quest. I think this is literally vanilla N64 version, which I kind of wish the version of Master Quest would be here. But anyway, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. We'll go ahead and do this. We'll just do my name, Aaron, however you'd like to pronounce it. Oh, interesting. What is it doing? I don't know if you guys are noticing it, but it's like, what's up with this huge space? What? I don't know what in the world is going on here. Let me do something. Let me just back out real quick and see if that fixes it. What in the world? I see what it's doing now. Let me use, I was using my arrow analog, and I was wondering maybe if it's, I think I have, yeah, I'm remembering now I have my C buttons programmed in on that, because I'm using Ship of Harnikin, and if you see, I'm using my Xbox controller. Ship of Harnikin is a PC port version of The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. There's also a Majora's Mask version that you could be able to use and utilize. Basically, all you have to do is get the PC Ship of Harnikin, and then you just have to reference your ROM game, basically, that you dumped legally. And then once you have that established, then you can play the game, because it just references all of those assets. And just, well, native. I'm playing on, of course, SteamOS, which is Linux. It's native to both Windows, Linux, and I think Mac. If I'm remembering correctly, don't hold my breath on that. Don't take me. Excuse me. All right, sorry about that. Let's see here. All right. Get distracted here. Let's go ahead and start. I know I'm going to be doing all the intro stuff. I've already done all this, but sure, we'll just run through this. It's just, this is just one of those games that I kind of wish I would have come back to more often. It's such a game that I've always been able to just replay multiple times. As a child, well, I say child, I did get it back in either 99, I think, is when we bought it. We didn't buy it when it was brand new. Wanted it for quite a while, I think, after it was brand new. My brother and I had to compile allowances and all sorts of chore money and stuff that we got in order to get the console and the game, which was a lot of money for us back then since we didn't work on full-time. We were kids. But yeah, we got it and we played a ton. Like I would, I mean, there was a while where I just couldn't get past some certain stuff, and I just keep playing, find things to do. It's just a lot of connection, a lot of memories, and a lot of fun from back in the day. I think the first time I actually played it through fully, I think maybe it'd been like 2002 or 2003. I didn't play it all the way through back when it first came out. And if you notice, I do have some texture upscalers and stuff for UI and texture-based things on this. It's kind of nice to be able to have those quality life kind of modifications. Since I am playing Ship of Harnikin's version, I would play natively on the N64. Except I love and I hate the N64 controller at the same time. But besides that, if you're familiar with Mod Retro, it's a company that develops a lot of different just retro gaming platforms. Basically, they're third-party consoles. They recently released a console called the N64, which is basically a modernized version of the Nintendo 64. And I just couldn't help myself. I just went and picked up one, which it gives out HDMI output, so it works on modern TVs. I don't remember what kind of resolution levels it outputs. I think maybe at least 1080p. I don't know why you would really need to do much more than that, because N64 was probably designed for less than 480. But anyway, it's got a lot of modernizations to it. You can be able to connect wireless Bluetooth controllers to it. You can even use the traditional controllers on it. There's so many quality life features to it that'll be super nice. And it's also, like, I think open source, and it's got some kind of operating system on it to some extent. It's probably basic, but it's built in a way that they can basically have a system that can be updated and improved over time with software on that console. For example, any kind of vulnerabilities or issues that they find they can fix. If it's not a hardware issue, which of course I don't think they would. Anyway, I'm super happy about picking one up. It might be a few weeks before I get it. I may actually play some N64 games on it on some of my streams. I have an all-in-one card. If you've seen that, I have a video of the Summer Kart 64 on my channel. I've reviewed it, and I absolutely love it. It's a great all-in-one cartridge for the Nintendo 64. I can play all my NES games, my Super Nintendo games, and my 64 games, of course, all within the Nintendo 64 console. So it's just an all-in-one platform console for me for N64 and previous. So it's just like, I don't have to have a Super Nintendo. I don't have to have an NES. So it's just nice to kind of have that Summer Kart 64. It's just so handy. And even the N64 controller, I feel like they built it to kind of be backwards compatible, but they never really did it. Really. I don't think they really actually did it until really the Wii, I guess. There were some games that I think they may have re-released on the GameCube, like of course Zelda Ocarina of Time. They did Master Quest, that pack. But yeah, I'm super stoked. Once I get that in, I'll talk a little bit more about it, and we may even do some more games related to it. I actually didn't know this, but this is one thing I never noticed. This board actually shows progress related to what you do game-wise. Just kind of neat. I didn't know that. And it's like, why do you really need it anyway? Because, well, I mean, you can kind of look at your start menu, but there must be other things on it. That's just my experience of keep learning things about this game that you've been playing all your life. You never even knew about some things. Could technically just bypass her and not talk to her, but whatever. We'll talk. Yep. That's right, we got a fairy. Thank you. All right, so of course we got to get the sword. We got to get a Deku shield. Huh, interesting. Thought there were chests in here. I must be thinking of a different building. Maybe it's this one over here. Wait, hold on a second. Huh, what in the world? I am definitely turned around. Yeah, I don't think it's that one. I think it's this one over here that I was thinking. Really, just one rupee. There's also like little quirks and stuff that you can find about this game that you can just exploit. But like I said, I like just having fun and just playing the game how it was intended. I think there's a couple, maybe like 5 rupees in here, maybe even a 1. I know the one right next to this one on that side, that one's a heart. I don't really need it. Yeah, that's good. Keep looking around for some more rupees. There's a rupee up there. Like I said, I don't mind being chill and just taking my time, walking around, enjoying the just, I don't know, there's just something about this generation of graphic art style, you could say. You can say Ocarina of Time definitely was superior to most Nintendo 64 games. There's a lot of them out there that, just my opinion, struggled a little bit, which I mean, you gotta understand. It's like working on the architecture of a 64-based console system had to have been really hard. I can't imagine. I mean, with the technology we have today, there's so many different things that can make it so much easier to make something worthwhile. It is nice too, if you noticed, I'm painting my camera like most traditional third-person games. That's where the handy-dandy Xbox controller comes in, where the N64 standard N64 controller quite lacks. I don't have to keep spamming that Z button to fix my camera. Alright. We'll get that sword equipped. Yeah, we'll go ahead and save. It's fine. Oop. Don't want to get smashed. Well, actually I did notice this, but there are so many different like ways you can actually directional swing your weapon in certain ways, and it affects and does just different types of moves and stuff. Didn't really think about the architecture of that, but that's actually really kind of genius for this generation, how it was developed, with going into those small little details of just features in general. I don't think there were very many. I don't think there were very many games of this era that kind of went to that quality level. All right, let's see here. Oh, yeah, we got it. And there's the shield. Now we can go to the Deku tree. I think there's a rupee over here. Sure is. Alright, let's go ahead and get that shield equipped. Yes, we should definitely save. Hello there. He's a grumbler, that's for sure. Very grumpy. Alright. Deku sticks. Those will be useful. As always. Alright, let's see here. I'll just do that for now. All right. All right, into the mouth of the Great Deku Tree. Navi's already shouting at me. Ah. The soundtracks are also amazing. Oh. Of course I can climb it. Nothing. All right. Probably like the compass or the map or something. Yep. Mappity map. You gotta listen to everything. Oh, there's always funny memes and stuff about you, Navi. Try it if you're really bold. Tends to work. Here we go. I got the slingshot. Funny thing is you actually can completely bypass a slingshot and you don't even actually need it, which is kind of surprising. I don't see why you would want to do that. And the speedrunner stuff. Got some Deku seeds. That's what we use in that slingshot. That's right. I think my goal for this session at least is to... Let's get through the Deku Tree. And then we'll get set up for... at the Dongon Cavern. We'll at least maybe get over to the Gorons and go from there. Actually, yeah, I think that is the next one. The Dongon's Cavern. So I can jump down there and hit that. Let's go ahead and go in here though. Always something useful. That's our way out. I think that's supposed to be maybe the compass over here or something like that. They just charge upwards and chomp, chomp, chomp. And then they're no threat. You only need them for Deku sticks. Might as well get it though. Because they actually, you wonk on some enemies, they actually got pretty good damage. And those Deku sticks. Oh, I got too close. You get too close and you hit them, you gotta space the distance just right, and then you can do a charge attack on him. I think there's a skull over there. I would like to go ahead and grab it. I've only ever really hit the goal of 50. I've never really gotten a full 100 of the skull. I don't know. Just never really went through that full, I'm going to collect everything. The last reward isn't really worth it, but just the fact that you free the whole family is probably what's most rewarding, I guess, out of doing that by lifting the full curse. All right. Now let's work our way down. All right, let's jump on down. Yeah, there we go. There we are. Oh, there. There is something crazy that I've seen some speedrunners do where they can like find a seam over here and they can jump up. I don't understand how they do that. It is kind of neat because it's like you do that and then you can kind of like jump up, grab it, and then bypass like half the dungeon. But not a big deal to me. I like doing the full dungeons. I'm not doing it to speedrun it. I'm not doing it to speedrun, that's for sure. Here to have some fun. Just enjoy the Zelda dungeons. There we go, we already got 2 skull. See what's in this chest over here. Another heart that we don't need. I hear something scratching. Oh, that's another skull. Interesting. Alright, so you gonna come over here and burn some spider web. Make sure we jump on the right platforms so we don't lose it. Teach me something cool. Two, 3, 1. As always, 23 is number 1. All right. And let's go ahead and pop this eye. listen. Always got to listen to your Navi about something. Since I've played this many times, I already know. Most people that are Zelda fans anyway. Alright, let's get back over here. And wait for it to come back. And we can jump up here. Look at that Scola. Gotta listen to something else. Oh my. Alright. Always pay attention to those action icons. I already knows that. Alright, let's see here. More of these guys. Alright. So, got some torches to light. I can see why speedrunners like bypassing some of this. The health bars over the enemies are an addition. It's a feature within the Ship of Harmonican. I noticed that bar went a little crazy. I kind of want some Deku nuts. I haven't got any yet. There we go. We don't have any bombs, so we can't use that yet. So we'll go this way. All right. A lot you can bypass if you can actually figure out how to jump up this little seam. Get this block down there so that way we can get back up if we have our little shortcut. And we'll need to go get us some fire to get rid of that web. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Here's where we got to do the code. How irritating. So annoying, I'm going to see the Queen Guama. Okay. Strike with your sword while she's stunned. Okay, yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. There we go. Let's go ahead and take out the queen. The queen. Creepy queen spider crawling everywhere. Maya Thai. Look, you can if you find a spot. Sometimes you can manage to get the eyeball. Just gotta wait. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, remember, if you do it just right, you can do it in about 2 sessions. Just get there and hit that charge attack. Does the most damage with the Katori sword, of course. Woohoo! Heart container. More heart containers are always useful. Alright, there it is. Yeah. Alright. So we've got the Forest Temple down in the bag. And this is always the sad part. Of course we'll listen. Because you're going to tell us about the wicked man of the desert. Ganondorf. Basically, Ganondorf wants to be the ruler of everything, and he just wants to dominate and wants loads of power. He's just inherently evil, and it seems to be a repetitious thing within the Zelda lore that there's always a reincarnated version of courage, which tends to be the Link, and the reincarnated version of power, which is Ganon, which is power hungry, he's evil, and then also Zelda in some way, which is wisdom. They always reincarnate, I guess, in a sense it's like to keep the balance and keep things in reset of this interesting loop. Just all sorts of different scenarios that it come into play. Makes it a lot more interesting. I want to play Wind Waker through at some point. I don't know when I'll do that. I could actually emulate it, but I don't know, for some reason I'm still itching to play some more Ocarina of Time. I might jump around a little bit. I could play some Oblivion Remaster, but I may not. I may play just a few other things, because I could literally, that's all I did last year, was nothing but Oblivion Remaster. Always been a huge fan of Oblivion. Elder Scrolls 4. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's pretty much right next to this game. But yeah, I don't want it to be my sole content. Unless I get to where most people that hang around want something like that, I could definitely do that. Oblivion Remaster is actually definitely a lot easier to mod than the old Oblivion Gamebryo version, which is still technically Gamebryo in Unreal Engine 5. Sorry, off topic. Anyway, that's what we're here for. Talk about whatever. And as I've said, Ganondorf is evil. He cast a curse on the tree because he wanted the stone. All right, let's go see Princess Zelda now. Yep, and of course, he just likes to blame everybody but himself. All right, pretty much done here. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, I technically could go get a larger pouch real quick, which actually is not a bad idea for the slingshot. Yeah, over here. Just right here. Alright. Gotta get like a couple bullseyes in a row. There we go. Alright. I can carry 40 now. Alright, now we will head out to Hyrule Castle. I may end up having to... Let's see here. Of course, got to see Sar before we leave. you really think about it, they were really limited with their architecture back then when they made this game. And it makes you think, it's like, they have these so many dramatic scenes like this and just like social connection. It makes you wonder, it's like, the reimagined version of Ocarina of Time, let's expand upon that. They have the potential of doing that because of technologies today. I'm hopeful that they will, because you can tell that there's a lot of history between Sora and Link, friendship-wise. But it doesn't really show any of that in this. Maybe it'll do more of that character development-wise, because it always just feels deep, but never really feels like it develops out from the player's perspective. Yep. The whole wise owl that comes around every once in a while. Yeah. Who knows what comes out of the trees? I don't think I'll be able to make it to Hyrule Castle before nightfall. It just always seems to, unless you do the cheaty way, kind of getting there. Yeah, it's already almost dusk. Look at that. That's going fast. Yeah, I'm not going to make it at this rate. I could go get a bottle, but the problem with that is he doesn't open his door at night. So what to do? Wait out the night? Dude, it would be useful to have the bottle, that's for sure. Yeah, rupees out of it. Not much. Oh, there's a big one. Oop. It's like, as soon as the day hits, they're like, see ya. I'm gone. All right. Let's go. I think he may not be in here yet. Yeah, I have to go to get the princess first. That's right. We'll go ahead and head there. And hopefully, looks like at this rate, I'll be able to have enough time to get there before nightfall. The days are just so fast, and it seems like it only progresses, I think, in a few of the part of the overworlds, or like, you could say open world parts. And it's like Hyrule Field and Hyrule Lake or something like that. Or Lake Hylia, excuse me. Yeah, it's just, at least from what I can remember anyway. It's a good little place if you want to need some rupees. Couldn't hurt to have some. Kind of hidden. Guess there's no collider there. just kind of disappear. Alright, and I'm gonna go ahead and head this way and try and get in the castle. In order to get in the castle, I have to get caught at least once, because we have to get an item that we will not be able to get until we're caught, because I think her name's Milan? Or no, I don't remember. I don't know why I forget. Oh, I do not want to hear what you said again. Excuse me. We'll climb up this vine and go get caught by the guards. That's what I'm going to do. That's right. Because that makes a whole lot of sense. Yep. And she over here? Yeah, there she is. Yep, along. All right. Gotta wait for it to hatch too before we can actually wake him up. But we'll just go ahead and make our way over there. Always easier to walk through here, I feel like. Walk this seam right here. I don't have any bombs to blow that up. And then come up here. Walk around them. It's funny is I think that castle is design process with the meshes are interesting. There's a lot of places on it there's no meshes period. They just make it look like it's 3D or a full 3D object from here. Or if you are actually looking down from it, there's no meshes, flat surface meshed with textures. Well, we're already over here and it's night. We'll have to wait till morning so the egg will hatch. And then we can wake up our buddy over here. Let's see here. Let's get it equipped. We can go ahead and start moving some of these boxes at least close enough to where once it's time, we can push them where we get them moved out of the way. We'll just line them up because we need both of them to get across. Well, now we gotta wake him up. So we don't have our chicken yet. Excuse me. I don't know if there's any rupees if we go down this one. Oh, there are. Oh, just one. That it? Oh, there's a blue rupee. That one's worth 5. Almost morning. Then we'll be able to wake him up. The guy that looks like Mario's dad, pretty much. Alright, let's wake him up. That's right. Tarnation. Yeah. What a goof. What a goof. Making his daughter wait multiple days for him to take care of his drop-off for the castle. I will say, this is my personal opinion and thoughts. I am looking way more forward to Ocarina of Time reimagined over GTA 6. The only interest that I would actually have of GTA 6 is the driving aspects of it. I love Rockstar's Midnight Club series. They're a lot of fun. Granted, they are very chaotic because they're not like traditional racing games where you have courses. You basically make your own course in cities, which kind of reminds me a lot of the kind of fundamentals of how it works with Grand Theft Auto stuff. A lot of the racing aspects, you just kind of make your own races to an extent, wherever you can find that's most successful for you. All right. Ooh. Oh my. I think there are some speed passing ways where you can just kind of like jump all the way through here and they don't see you for some reason. But I'm just going to be patient. I'll just do it the traditional way they expect you to do it. I could see how they could kind of modernize this with some of their... They have some more modern settings of this, like even through Breath of the Wild. I remember there were some stealth sections in it, and stealth is better than Nintendo 64 with Ocarina of Time in their later games, but they've always kind of tried to keep it simple, which is probably good. All right, now let's go talk to Zelda. Just walked right on past him. Giggle, giggle. Of course. Of course I'll take a look at him. Gotta know what we're going up against. Gotta have that Zelda letter. All right. Now we can go to, well, first we'll talk to Impa. Then we will go to Death Mountain. Excuse me. See ya. Alright. We're at Cocorico Village. And work our way to Death Mountain. My goal is to get at least decently close to where I can start the next dungeon. That'll be a good stopping point. Oop. Go with hit or not. Scoot around it. I guess there's not a skull in this one. Sometimes there's skull in some of these. Don't remember which ones have it and which ones don't. Might be able to learn the Sun Song. I can't remember if I can get that yet or not. That'll be useful. Being able to control the time of day is kind of one of my favorite songs, just because of the fact that, well, there is some small factors of time-based well, schedules for NPCs and stuff. I could get those chickens and stuff, but I'm not worried about it right this second. Let's go see if we can get that Sun Song, yay or nay. Remembering it's either one of these tombstones, I think. Just don't remember which one. Might even be this one. I wonder if it's the song I just learned. Yep. There we go. Let's go get that Sun Song. Oh my. That's nuts. The wind is like blowing like crazy outside, and I think a tree just fell in my front yard. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry, guys. Some kind of storm front just blew through, and I guess our tree in the front yard was kind of getting rotted, and it blew over, and it's in the street currently right now in my, and that doesn't need to be like that. I need to get it taken care of. I'm having a neighbor come help me with that. So I'm gonna have to cut it a little bit short. Didn't really get what I wanted to, but I need to get prepped and get that tree out of the street. We haven't had any storms run through, and we're really in a dry front, so I'm hoping for some rain, but hopefully not while I'm out there trying to help move this out of the street. Anyway, wrapping it up here, and as always, I'm gonna try and get my next stream scheduled out, kind of get it blocked out for this week, what my plans are stream-wise. But as always, be positive, be creative, have a good one. Goodbye.